What is and what really is the instrument of electric guitar? What does that mean? Are we just talking about this hunk of wood with some strings on it going into an amplifier? Or is there a little bit more than meets the eye or meets the ear, to be more exact? What's up, friend? My name is Matthew Dale. I'm here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more. And we're going to talk about the full instrument of the electric guitar today. And I thought about making this video because I've been on a couple of gigs lately where another guitar player that I was playing alongside with was missing one vital element of his guitar instrument that really didn't make it sound very good. So I want you to sound absolutely the best you can, and I don't want you to make this mistake. And frankly, I'm a little bit surprised that some people are still making this mistake. Really, no fault to them, but I'm really surprised that we're still doing this in now 2025. So let's go ahead and discuss. So imagine this scenario, if you will. You get called for a gig, like I was actually a couple of weeks ago, and it's a silent stage. So no cabinets, no live sound on stage. It's all going to be going through a mixer, and the mixer is going to be going out into the mains. This is a fairly common gigging scenario for amateurs, semi-professional musicians, local musicians. This is something we just have to deal with more and more in our modern day musical lives. And if you're into modeling, like I am with here I'm going to be using the Fractal FM9. If you're into that, you're like, okay, no big deal. I've got all my presets. I'm just going to plug into the PA anyway. But if you're an analog player, this could give you a, oh crap, what do I do kind of moment. That's what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to look at what exactly is the entire instrument of electric guitar, because this is only a part of it. An amp is only a part of it. There's really four parts. There's the electric guitar itself, the strings, the pickups, the body wood, if you want to really dive into that tone wood debate, and then you also have your amplifier, okay, right? So you're plugged in. Are you plugged into a Vox, a Fender, a Marshall? The speaker is probably the most misunderstood and potentially the most important part of electric guitar tone. Alongside of all those things, now if you're a traditionalist, that's it for you, right? So you got your guitar, your amp, your speaker. Bam, you're done. But a lot of modern guitar music also requires, as a part of our instrument, effects. What I have called up here, I'm on the FM9. We're going to go through all of these potential parts here. I'm going to go through the FM9, and I'm going to be using one of my templates. Now, if you like this template, you can find this available in my template pack over on Patreon. And if you like some of the sounds that I call up in this preset, you can also download my block library for free. Both of those links will be in the description box below. I'm going to bypass all of these things real quick, and let's just listen to what an electric guitar sounds like plugged straight in to a mixer. If I go through some single coil tones, and let's see, let's do the outer single coils. In between. And the neck. The only one that's really usable there for me would be potentially the neck pickup in a jazz environment. And whatever, some, fake jazz noodling. That's just one element. This is exactly what the electric guitar sounds like if we very cleanly amplify it. Guitar speakers are not full range. They cut off roughly around 90 to 100 hertz and down, and then they roll off 5, 6K and above, roughly speaking. Let's see what happens when I just engage the cabinet here to this. Again, same neck pickup. Here's my middle and neck. Suddenly, it's more of the sound of a guitar. Here's my bridge pickup. It sounds a little bit more like a guitar now. I'm going to engage this amplifier. What I have called up right now is an AC20. Morgan AC20, it's a Vox-style circuit, kind of like an AC15, but on steroids. And now we have this. There's a little bit of crunch there. That's what Vox-style circuits are pretty good at. This really chimey, bright high end. They work great in a mix. If I go to my middle and neck, and then my neck pickup, now it sounds like an electric guitar should sound. Watch what happens when I don't have the cabinet in here. So back on the cab. Hopefully this doesn't hurt your ears. That's what an amplifier sounds like if a guitar is just plugged into an amp. Do you hear all of the shrill, high-end fizziness, fuzziness stuff? This is usually what people associate with direct tones. It sounds fake. Sounds digital. There's this high end, this harshness. A lot of people associate that with digital, but it can also be done in the analog world if you are bypassing a speaker or a speaker emulation. How do we typically get our analog rigs to our audience's ears? We mic them up. We have a cabinet, we mic up the cabinet, and then we go into the PA. PA does some work on the microphone, and then it delivers our sound to our audience member. Now, what if we bypass this? Sometimes amps have a direct out. Oh, great, it has a direct out. Let's go ahead and use the direct out and plug directly into our PA. That would be the sound of a direct out because that's just sending the amplifier section signal of the amplifier, not the speaker, out. That might be going to a soundboard, and this is one of the reasons why guitarists for a long time hate direct-to-console tones. In more modern amplifiers, they have speaker-emulated DIs. Now, you can do this really easily with something like a Hughes & Kettner Redbox. I used one of those for a long time with amplifiers. That worked really well. That delivered the sound of a mic'd-up 412 for the most part. Kind of got there. Not to just, make comparisons, but it created a usable tone that I could send direct to a console. This was part of the really big issue that I saw with some of these others, and it was, multiple guitar players that were doing this, that I've played with in the past couple of months. They have their guitar plugged into their pedal boards with their drives and their effect pedals, the reverbs, delays, all this stuff. And we were running silent stage. They were going straight into the board from their pedal board, straight into the soundboard from their pedal board, and it sounded kind of like that. Why did it sound kind of like that? Well, let's go back and let's just drop in a drive, and let's pull something up from my block library, like a Light Morning Glory. And this is just what a drive straight into a soundboard sounds like. Super loud and just not nice sounding. I'm really selling my free block library here, aren't I, right? So it's like, I'm not going to download those. That sounds like crap. But if I engage the amp in the cabinet, again, here's just the amp and cab. Now I've got a good drive sound going into that AC. What if I bypass the cab and it's just drive into the cab block? What this drive pedal is set up to do right now is really act as a boost, kind of a dirty boost. What if I select something a little bit different, like more of a distortion sound? So let's go over to channel B here, and I'm going to call in the Sir Riot. And I'm going to set this up with the amp first, so we get this. So there's my distortion into the Vox, or the Vox style circuit. Now, it's louder because it's boosting, but that still sounds like an amplifier. Drive pedals, in effect, are very similar to amplifiers. So what happens if I bypass the cab, just like you might be doing if you don't have some kind of amp and cabinet simulation, specifically cabinet simulation on your board if you're going direct. I'm going to drop this output down so I don't hurt anyone. And that's the sound I heard playing with my fellow guitar players. Really great players, but they missed this element of having a direct to soundboard solution. They missed this element on the complete instrument of electric guitar. Now let's just go ahead and make this sound like a really, really, really good preset. I'm going to go and call up a couple of my blocks in my block library, like the Dyna let's do the AC20 cabinets here. I'm going to go back to my Morning Glory. Let's move that. I'll keep it there. And I'm going to do a little bit of phaser, because I like phaser, generally speaking. I also really like this stereo 8-stage. Call this one, these go to 8 out of my block library. Let's get a little bit of delay going here as well. I'm going to set this up in parallel. And block library, let's see what I have in here again. Let's do just a very simple, let's do the simple tape. Simple's in the name. Mute in, kill dry. That should already be set up to go. Now, here's kind of what I got. I'll probably adjust the delay to taste. Here's the Morning Glory. Stereo 8-stage phaser. Really nice sound. I would totally use that if I was playing Badge in like a cover band. The effects are just kind of the icing on top. What effect works for this song? If I was playing Badge, I'd throw that stereo 8-stage on it, go stereo front of house, and I have that epic phaser sound for that song, which would be really kind of cool. I hope this was a beneficial lesson for you for understanding the full instrument of electric guitar and how important speaker choice is, whether it's actual speaker choice in the real world or simulated speaker choice with an IR or some sort of cabinet modeling like we've seen here in our Fractal ecosystem. If you're interested in diving in a little bit deeper on this lesson, I'll have an extended version available up on my Patreon in my Diving Deeper community. You can check that out in the description box below. Otherwise, my name is Matthew Dale. I'm here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more, and I'll see you next time.